It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey, from the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a lie. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, students and staff, and to all veterans serving and retired. Thank you for attending this first ever virtual Veterans Day program. My name is Luke Hill, and I am an 8th grade student here at Riverview Middle School. I am honored to have the privilege of speaking in respect of our veterans here today. I would like to briefly explain the history of Veterans Day and why this day is so important. On November 11, 1918, a national day of celebration was adopted in order to honor and thank those who fought in World War I to protect our great country. That day was named Armistice Day, and it would eventually be renamed Veterans Day in 1954 to not just honor those who fought in World War I, but rather include every individual who has served in any engagement to protect this beautiful country every day. So today is the day we honor all veterans in every branch of the military, those serving and retired, and especially those who gave their last full measure of sacrifice. Those men and women were ordinary people until they heard the call of duty and answered it, and left their families, their homes, and their lives, not for recognition or fame, or even the honor we bestow upon them today, but to serve. They fought and served to protect our country, to maintain our way of life, to preserve and protect the freedoms we have today. For these reasons, we all respectfully take this day to recognize and honor our country's veterans. Thank you.
At this time, will you join me in honoring our nation and the veterans who served our country by standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
Hey Raiders, happy Veterans Day. I'm Lance Corporal Emily Paulette of the United States Marine Corps. I am a Riverview alumni, and if there's one thing you might know about me is that I'm a saxophone player, and I started under Mr. Court over at Riverview. And now I'm a saxophone player for the United States Marine Corps. I'm a professional musician thanks to him teaching me how to play. My MOS is a 5524 musician. My day-to-day is practicing, performing. It's a lot of fun, and I've even gotten to start singing now. It's the best thing I could ever imagine. It's everything that I've ever wanted to do as a person. I've always wanted to be a musician, and now I can do that professionally. I chose the Marine Corps because from the second I started talking to a recruiter, it gave me a strong sense of family. With their values of honor, courage, and commitment, I knew it was something that I would be able to fit in well with. I always held myself to the highest standard, and so do the United States Marines. It is a great way to motivate myself and keep myself at that high standard, and I love it so much. My future here in the Marine Corps is looking pretty good. I just started college. I'm going for my Associates in General Studies through University of Maryland. I'm getting ready to start a lot of really awesome performances for Christmas, for Halloween, all throughout November. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I get to have my own house here soon. Right now I'm living in the barracks with my wonderful roommate. We're both in the band together. She plays piccolo. It's amazing. It's amazing being surrounded by professional musicians from all different backgrounds. We have musicians who played in DCI, who've been in the Blue Devils, been in the Cavaliers, done everything. We have musicians who have performed on Broadway. It's absolutely amazing seeing the differences between everyone just come together, and it blows my mind every day that I'm a saxophone player straight out of high school who managed to make it in, and we have Marines who have their doctorates in performance. We have Marines who have their doctorates that are in, and we're all able to work together and be the family that we all needed. It's amazing to be able to make music too. Being in the Marine Corps is not all just music, especially if you're under a different MOS. I've worked over at PMO with the police department. It's a lot of fun working in military police too. But overall, it's been a great time here. And if you're interested, you can always shoot me a message. I'm sure that Mr. Wright or Mr. Court would be happy to give you my information. Alright, happy Veterans Day, Raiders. Have a good one.
Hey Raiders, happy Veterans Day. My name is Logan Hippensteel, and I made this video to talk to y'all about the military, and more specifically what I do in the military. Shout out to my mom, Miss Hippensteel. Make sure y'all be nice to her. Believe it or not, I was actually sitting in those same gymnasium seats or classroom seats that you guys are sitting in about 6 to 7 years ago. I am a Lance Corporal, which is an E3 in the United States Marine Corps. My job is a military police officer, and I'm stationed here in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Simply put, my job is the same that a civilian police officer would do. I have the same training and do pretty much the same job and do everything that they would do, such as medical assists, arrests, traffic accidents, traffic stops, building alarms, reports, anything that you've seen them do or you think they might do. We pretty much do the same thing, just on a smaller scale, a different jurisdiction, which is inside the base of Camp Lejeune. The main difference is basically where we do it and the fact that they wear blue and brown suits and they're civilians, and I wear this green suit and I'm part of the military. All military branches create a lot of opportunities and can open a lot of different doors that you might not be able to have the opportunity to do if you're not in the military. No matter what job it is in the military, I promise you, you'll be trained proficiently at your job and gain a lot of life skills that you might not get in the civilian world. You might only be open to you if you're in the military. The military is definitely not for everyone. There's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of different hardships that go with it. But if you are interested, there's a lot of benefits that go with it, and you should definitely look into it and keep an open mind about it. Specifically from a law enforcement standpoint, the job that I'm doing right now, I'm only 20 years old. If I was working as a civilian right now instead of military, I wouldn't be able to be a police officer at all because I'm not 21. I'm only 20 years old. So that's given me multiple years of training and job experience that I wouldn't be able to have. I would be in college or doing other things, which is good too, but it just depends on what you want to do and what you're looking for. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for letting me take up some of your time. Hope you all have a great day and a good rest of your week.
Greetings from Aviation Training Center, Mobile, Alabama. My name is AST3 Nathan Park, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do in the Coast Guard. I graduated from Huntington North High School in 2016 and attended Riverview Middle School and Andrews Elementary School before that. Before I get into the job I have now, I'd like to take a moment and touch on the other missions that the Coast Guard has been assigned to both here in the homeland and abroad. To start, the Coast Guard is a part of the Department of Homeland Security, while all the other branches of the military are under the Department of Defense. That does not make us any less a part of the military. I went to boot camp just like any other military member would, and our boot camp is held in Cape May, New Jersey, and I graduated from there in 2017. The Coast Guard's mission in general is to ensure our nation's maritime safety, security, and stewardship. Beneath that, we have been tasked with 11 primary missions. These include ports, waterways, and coastal security, drug interdiction, aids to navigation, search and rescue, living marine resources, marine safety, defense readiness, migrant interdiction, maritime environmental protection, polar ice and Alaska operations, and law enforcement. So if you want to get to know about any of those individually, they're all listed out with all the descriptions on the Coast Guard's website if you're interested in that. Each of those missions include a wide variety of jobs, which in the Coast Guard we call them rates. They include anything from a yeoman who keeps track of all the personnel files to a maritime enforcement specialist who is basically the police of the Coast Guard. Now getting into what my role and job is here in the Coast Guard, my rating or job is that of an AST, which is an Aviation Survival Technician. Most people simply call it us rescue swimmers. And before I get into the glamorous part of the job, let's talk about what we actually do on a day-to-day basis here in the shop. As the title of Aviation Survival Technician suggests, our primary job is to maintain any equipment on any aircraft that assists in survival. This encompasses a lot of different equipment, but might include life rafts, life vests like behind me, drop radios, survival suits, portable oxygen systems, pumps for dewatering sinking vessels, and then also parachutes for delivering those pumps and rafts from our fixed-wing aircraft. Now, as a rescue swimmer, we do not fly on the fixed-wing aircraft. Our specialty is the two Coast Guard helicopters, the MH-65 Dolphin and the MH-60 Jayhawk. The Jayhawk, which we call Big Iron, is our largest helicopter and is actually a hand-me-down from the Navy, who calls it the Sea Hawk. Switching to the 65 aircraft, this is the aircraft that I am basic aircrew qualified. It is significantly smaller than the 60, but very maneuverable. Oftentimes, we consider it the Ferrari of the Coast Guard, while the Jayhawk is the SUV. During a standard 24-hour duty shift, we might aid in a little of the shop maintenance, but our primary job is to be on the ready in case the SAR alarm or search and rescue alarm goes off. When it does, our job is to dress out, brief with the aircrew, and be airborne in under 30 minutes. Operationally, you might get called out for really anything, but might include a sinking vessel requiring assistance, someone trapped in their attic due to hurricane waters, vertical surface operations for someone stuck on a cliff, or a standard medical evacuation off the back of a cruise ship. Now with that being said, here, Aviation Training Center Mobile is actually a non-operational unit, with one exception, and that is hurricanes. Our primary mission is to train brand new pilots or upgrade experienced pilots from around the country so that they can then go back to their units with the skills necessary to conduct successful search and rescue operations. However, when a hurricane hits anywhere in the country, we switch to full operations to assist in rescue efforts. I have personally flown in 4 hurricanes this season, which were Laura, Sally, Delta, and Zeta. As far as flight operations go here, I typically fly maybe 2 or 3 times a week, each flight lasting about 2 hours. During these training missions, we will typically start with several approaches to the water and search patterns, anything really that the training pilot or flight mechanic might need for the proficiency or their syllabus. Then we will get into the hoisting part of the flight, usually starting with several basket hoists to our contract boat, simulating the procedure for picking up survivors off of a boat. Afterward, we will do anywhere between 2 to 6 rescue swimmer hoists, which involve me. As a rescue swimmer, I can deploy in many different ways, one of which is the free fall, which is often the fan favorite. These are conducted from hovering the helicopter 15 feet or lower above the water and then jumping the way we practice however many times we did in rescue swimmer school. As far as recoveries go, we have a dummy called Rescue Ruth that we use to simulate picking up survivors from the water. I can send her up either in the basket or as a double pickup via a sling or quick strap application. In both of those, we actually go up together. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to share a little about the Coast Guard with you today, since it is often an overlooked branch of the military. Our missions are so broad that really anyone interested is almost guaranteed to find some job that fits their aptitudes. I'd like to thank Mr. Rodenbeck for reaching out to me for this Veterans Day, and more importantly, thank you to all of the members who have served or continue to serve our great nation. Happy Veterans Day.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Javin Gray, and I am also an 8th grade student here at Riverview Middle School. I would first like to thank everyone for partaking in this event. I would like to thank everyone who made this celebration possible, and also everyone who has spoken at today's event. But most importantly, I would like to thank all veterans here today. Whether you served in the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Space Force, or Coast Guard, you are all thanked with the same amount of gratitude. I would like to end this event by saying Veterans Day should not just be one day of celebration. Our veterans have done so much to protect and provide our country with freedoms. There is no way to express how much we all appreciate their bravery and commitment, their sacrifice. Let us leave knowing that every day should be the day to remember the many who risked their lives for us all. Once again, I thank each and every one of the veterans here today, and I am honored to live in the freedom you all provide us.
Forward, march! Mark time, march! Group, halt! Present arms!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms!
You missed my first step. My first word was dead. This house is filled with pictures of someone I never had. I know your voice. I think I know your smile. But mommy says clothes haven't smelled like your clothes in a while. I know afraid I am letters that say how you do it for me. And mommy says how you keeping us safe, even though it might not be easy to see. We'll leave the light on until Daddy comes home. soldier